Hello there, my friends. Today we have a pick a card reading about the path that is opening up for you based on a new sense of direction you may have received. So, we have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, we have this jar of opal crystals, just tiny tumbled opal. And a song that came through for pile 1 was All Star by Smash Mouth. I almost said Trash Mouth, which is interesting. I'm not sure what that's about. Pile 2, we have a cute carnelian mushroom. There's a fungus among us. Hold on. All right, it doesn't want to stay there. And not quite a song, but in a way a song. What came through for you was MycoLyco. And MycoLyco, I will link it below, of course. He basically raises mushrooms and crystals, and he hooks them up to a like a modular synthesizer, I believe, and it uses the biodata of the mushrooms or the crystals through these clips that you clip onto it, and it uses that biodata and transfers it into waves that then make sounds. And so it's basically making music through the information being sent from a mushroom or the crystal or a plant of some sort. But there is a lot of really cool sounding creations that come from this channel. So look into that if you want to, if you're interested in that. Perhaps pile 2 is your reading. And then we have a little rose quartz owl for pile 3. And the song that came through kind of surprised me, but it's T.N.T. by AC/DC. So, very interesting. So, pick your pile and let's get into your reading. Hello, beautiful pile 1. So, while I was shuffling for your reading, I basically asked my spirit guides and spirit to show me the path that's opening up for you based on a new perspective shift or a new sense of direction that has been kind of upwelling within you. I feel like this collective, not just pile 1, but all of the piles, this whole reading is for the collective that has been feeling a new sense of inspiration or a new type of exuberance for life. Either way, whatever has shifted in your perspective has been opening doors for you, and we're gonna see what door is opening up, what path is being made known for you in this next era. Okay, so you have opal, which is so pretty. I think opal is just one of the prettiest crystals because it's like iridescent, and I love the iridescence of opal. Try to put it right there. Okay. And then your song was All Star by Smash Mouth. So a lot of glitteriness, a lot of bold sparkle here, right? All right. So let's see. I'm going to start with the tarot. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. The 9 of Wands. The Queen of Wands. And Temperance. Interesting. I feel like there is something that you have been passionate about for a very long time, but you haven't really known how to move forward with it. And I think you're finally ready to kind of slowly release. I'm feeling like a slow release of this into the physical. So I feel like this passion has been kind of working its way through you for a while. You've been persevering through a lot of things that felt like they were maybe burdening you, and you're finally using that energy and releasing it, kind of like a steam valve. I'm feeling the more you release things slowly into your physical reality, creative things, creative projects, the more that the pressure is being relieved from you. It's kind of what I'm picking up. Okay, we have the Work Your Light Oracle. We have a few cards. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I need to move these up. There we go. Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. I keep getting these two cards. Maybe you've seen these cards recently in my readings. Maybe you're part of that collective. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? So again, you are a creative, I feel. I'm going to move this up a little. You're a creative, and you have kept a lot of this inside, and it's been kind of weighing on you. You've been just kind of holding it inside as this internal creative pressure. And I think you are, maybe the reason you've kept it inside is because it's almost like it brings in a whole new paradigm. Your creativeness is so tapped and tied into something deeper or bigger or against the grain, or you are a visionary for a new kind of world. Maybe you're a writer. Every time I see swords, I think of like ideas, brilliant ideas. Maybe you are an idea person, and you've had so many ideas inside of you and you haven't known what to do. And I think you finally starting to release this into the world and to really share your gifts more. I think it is releasing that pressure, and I think you have your guides working behind the scenes for you as you keep moving in alignment. So the path opening up for you is that you're going to continue being able to move forward creatively. And as you do that, you have your entire spirit team supporting you as you do that. So you're definitely making progress. You're moving forward. You're just doing it a little more slowly, because I feel like the creative potential and what you have to offer is so tremendously huge. If you were to give it all at once, there would be a huge imbalance, and you would not really receive the fruits of your labor like you would if you do it in this balanced, moderate kind of way, right? So we're doing this slowly with a lot of support, and we are birthing kind of a whole new world. And as you know, when you birth something, it takes time. It has to gestate. You continue, nourishing the energy, you continue nourishing your body, you continue doing all of those things. And then slowly but surely, this creation is being built during that process, right? So there's been building blocks coming together, just like a baby. The genetics and the biological material and everything has to come together, and it takes 9 months. It's not an immediate process. And so I feel like that's kind of happening here. Like you are slowly releasing this to the world so that it can be better integrated and a smoother transition. So what's opening up for you, the pathway forward, is to continue moving with the same slow momentum where everything is harmonized and there is balance. So we're still honoring that deep calling, but we are allowing it to come through in divine time. Okay, we have some Prism Oracle cards. We have happiness, energy, space, and ghost. Interesting. So there's definitely this energy. There is a tremendous amount of energy that you've held on to, as I said before. Tremendous amount of energy. And I feel like space here, because it is like a black card, kind of reminds me of the womb. And we were talking about this gestation. So a lot of energy goes into the creation process, and what's being created is still, it's been within you, right? We are in this process of holding on to a lot of energy and allowing ourselves the space to let it trickle out. I don't know if this is online or in a certain area, if this is a certain project that you're slowly allowing your creative vision to move into. Either way, it's not just giving yourself the space to do something. Here, I feel like it is in this space where the energy is coalescing just right. And Ghost here talks about past experiences. It talks about things that are haunting you. I feel like you being a ghost, you hiding yourself, you hiding away has been the thing that has been exhausting you. I feel like I did have a reading like this at one point. I can't remember which reading that was, but your isolation has been exhausting you because you have all of this creative potential inside you, but then you're hiding it and you're ignoring it and you're avoiding it. And I think we're done doing that. I think the path opening up for you is you're allowing this energy and these creations to come out. You are actually showing parts of yourself, and this is adding a level of fulfillment and peace and happiness to your life as you move forward. And I think that is really exciting. I love seeing the wands here and these orange colors. I'm just feeling very fire energy. I'm feeling like there is a lot of ideas and vision finally coalescing to the point where it will be able to be born. And I think that's so tremendous for you. I'm going to see if I can channel any more messages for this. One moment. I feel like because of this pressure buildup, that there is a possibility some of you are still withholding more than you need to be, or you are trying to push too hard to get all of this pressure released. There is definitely a reminder here that slow and steady is how you need to do this. We don't need to move forward. We don't need to, post things rapid fire. We don't want to confuse people. We don't want to have this creative idea, this creative idea, this creative idea, and throw it all out there, throw it at the wall, see what happens. That's not what we're doing. We're being slow and methodical. We are making sure we do things in a balanced way. We're making sure that we aren't exploding or completely stifling ourselves. So there's a balance there with this temperance here. Temperance is also number 14. That's 2 sevens. I think alignment here is remaining in balance. And it can be tough. I'm seeing the 9 here. That seems important. 3, 3. 3 times 3, 3 threes. Maybe you're seeing threes. Maybe you're seeing sevens. Either way, there's just a lot of pressure and a lot of energy. And I know sometimes when we're feeling that, we want to release it as quickly as possible. And sometimes when this happens, this is when toxic behaviors and toxic patterns come up. As you know, if you're really stressed and you're in fight or flight and you're holding on to all these burdens and stuff, sometimes something snaps, something breaks, and we do something that's a toxic behavior to try to cope. If you're dealing with that, right, with this temperance here, sometimes this can have to do with those kind of abuses or not having moderation. Let's try to not do that. Let's try to continue releasing this energy slowly. And as we continue releasing it, eventually that pressure will be relieved. And we want to do this in a way that is going to fulfill us. We don't want to do this in a way that is going to harm us or harm the future potential of this thing, right? So definitely stay balanced, stay sober, stay grounded. Just allow your creative power to continue building this momentum, to continue pushing you forward. I think what is the most important on this path is that the path you are moving into calls you to more sobriety for some of you. It calls you to more vision, but not your vision. It calls you to being in the vision of other people, of not isolating yourself. This path you're moving forward into has you being seen, being healthy, being methodical, being balanced, grounded, moving forward with a plan, You are so supported and so loved, and you are birthing not just a new version of yourself, but you're birthing something that is going to connect this deep calling that you know you were born for into this new age, into the world, into, you know, this era that will not just benefit you creatively and your fulfillment, but it will bring such this bright, bold energy that is very necessary. That's where you're headed. And I'm very proud of you, and I believe in you, and I know you can do this. Let's just try to keep releasing some of that creativity, keep allowing yourself to be seen, and you're gonna make it. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so proud of you. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So this is going to be the path that's opening up for you based on this new sense of direction. Okay. You have the carnelian mushroom. Very cute. Carnelian is very fiery, creative energy. And then MycoLyco, there's some very, very interesting stuff over there. Maybe go check it out before you're reading. It's really fascinating. Maybe you're someone who's very experimental, or somebody who does things a very unique way. But I also want to mention for your group, and only for your group, Pile 2, I wrote this down. I started feeling a bit shaky and jittery while shuffling for this pile. It was a very strange kind of energy that made me feel like I was going a million miles a minute. Made me feel like we just a little insane, and I'm wondering if that's going to come back now while I do this reading. But very fascinating. I'm not sure what to expect. So let's see. We're going to start with the tarot. The Hierophant. Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Five of Wands. Ooh. So I am feeling like your spiritual, intuitive perspective is different than a lot of people's. I'm feeling that like there's a conflict between you and most of society. Right, so maybe this is going back to this experimental feeling. So the Hierophant here, we have Taurus energy, definitely connected to the earth, maybe very connected to mushrooms. Maybe you are very into that kind of thing. Nature, moss, mushrooms, plants, you know, maybe something like that. Maybe you're an earth sign. The Knight of Cups and Queen of Cups in reverse here is really, really fascinating to me. I feel like you're somebody who... possibly very masculine also, even in your sense of emotionality. So what I'm seeing here is Knight of Cups. This is somebody who moves very forward with their emotions, right? They understand their emotions, they understand their connection to source, and they allow themselves to compete almost, not really a competition, but to go against the grain, right? You're someone that goes against the grain, and you're totally fine doing so. You're comfortable there, right? You're comfortable in your experimentativeness, right? Experimentalness. And the Queen of Cups in reverse here, it almost tells me that maybe a lot of these feelings or a lot of this spiritual essence is kind of kept on the inside. You kind of keep it on the inside. So it's less the feminine, emotional, sensual, open, you know, you more are, you kind of utilize, what an interesting term, you utilize this intuitive, emotional world within you to bring it forward in very unique ways, is what I'm feeling, in ways that go against the grain, right? But you have these deep understandings of nature, of spirit, and the way you bring them forward is very unique, right? So I'm actually understanding now why MycoLyco is coming up. Yeah. Again, it's not like you're competing in any way. There isn't really a competition. It's more like a conflict of I'm hearing emotion, but like not conflicting emotions. I mean, it's like, It's so unique. It's so unique. Your perspective, for sure, especially on a very deep level, intuitive level, you have these understandings that other people aren't seeming to perceive, and you have this perception of them. Now, a lot of the energy you perceive goes internal. You aren't really thinking about it. You just sense things and they stay internal, and you almost like filter or use or channel this energy into a very directed way, right? Maybe you are a psychic, but the way that you use those psychic gifts isn't like how I'm doing it right now, maybe. Maybe it's more methodical, mechanical, or creative, like maybe through some kind of art that points out things about society, something, I'm feeling something like that. It's almost like you're in a different caliber, you're in a different bracket. Ooh, that's not really what I mean. You're in a different, it's almost like you create your own playing field in a way that is contrary. Maybe you're a contrarian, but it's not in terms of mental argumentation. It's more the way that you show your energy. Okay. I'm going to use some Starseed decks. Okay. The Seas of Mintaka. Seeing potential, bringing unconscious to light. Wow. Okay. Earthed. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. Yeah, this is like non-human. That's why it's contrary. Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. Double mission. Lightworker Starseed. Serve the world by being you. So this path opening up for you is one that you are literally making. You're literally making through bringing your very unique essence into the world. You're very connected to water, which is interesting. So maybe earth and water are in your chart. Very fascinating. Lots of earth and water. I feel like your sense of expression is powerfully alien. I'm not necessarily saying starseed because I don't know everything about starseeds. I don't know how much involved in that you might be. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that your presence, your existence, your energy that you bring into this world is very unique. It is very unique. It almost feels like you have come here as an experiment to see how much of the true flow of energy you can bring into this world. How innovative can you be? How much momentum can you create in terms of bringing the unseen to light, right? Bringing unconsciousness to light. How fascinating. You're not here to fit in. You are here to see the potential and innovate. And you do it through experimentation. And what you're innovating, what you're experimenting on, what you're innovating, it's the emotional realm. It's the spiritual realm, right? It's the intuitions and hidden meanings and the depth that many of us are not used to. You're allowing that to be seen through you experimenting, being yourself. Your life is almost an experiment, and you're using this life to teach, in a way, to teach through your existence the mysteries of the universe, to bring the unconscious to light through going against the grain. It's very fascinating seeing the Hierophant and the Five of Wands together because it just does a lot. It does a lot mentally for me when I'm trying to add this cohesion. Because you get this feeling like it's a separation from humanity, but then you also see this essence of But the reason that I am separating from humanity is so that I can teach humanity. And that is a really fascinating energy. There's like a juxtaposition of energy where you're really grounded and stable, but all of the sudden you are able to pull down something or pull out something from somebody through just your energy alone and your presence. And that's fascinating. The seeds of Mintaka. If you've ever heard of Mintakan starseeds, maybe that is something that you resonate with. Mintaka was a world like covered in water, right? So definitely water energy. So maybe you're so used to being in the soup or in the water or in the depths. You're so used to being in the intuitive messaging and the feeling realm that you coming to Earth has been kind of like a shock. You've come here and you've been like, where's all the water, right? You literally come here and you've been like, this is not nearly as much water as I'm used to, right? And so you're serving the world by bringing water to a world that is so thirsty, so unquenched. The path opening up for you is you are learning and growing and being so that you interacting with the world is leading to those that are thirsty finding drink. And I think from your example, you are showing them how they find it in themselves. But your job isn't to do that for them, right? Your job is literally to show up and to shine light and to bring water to the desert. That's your call. You're bringing water to the desert because you are a being of depth, truth, memory, true memory, old memory, memory of ancient times. The original earth covered in water. There was water in the deserts. There was water everywhere. It was hugely oceanic, right? Maybe you have memory of that. Maybe you have memory of, a world very similar to what Earth used to be. And so coming here, it's been like you are, you're here to water the plants. You're a gardener, right? You're a gardener of sorts. Like maybe you literally are. And the way you understand fungi or anything like that, plants, nature, the natural world is very, very contrarian. It's very contrarian because your perspective of it is very, very unique. You have a deeper understanding of the water. I think a lot of us on Earth are so used to the plants being the important part, we don't realize how the plants come to form. And they only can come to form when they have the right nutrients. I think you come here bringing the nutrients and you say, I'm the caretaker. If I don't bring the nutrients, how is it going to grow? We take a lot of things for granted here, and you are coming back to show us there is nothing to take for granted because everything is so brilliant. So the path moving forward is you're developing even more because you are involving yourself even more in this experience, in this experiment, right? You're experimenting even more. Your experimental attitude is literally, it's going to just keep pushing forward. It opens so many doors. It opens so many doors I don't even think I can express to you because you are finding the positions in which your nurturing is important. And you have a double mission, right? You're a light. I got cut off right there. Sheesh. So you have a double mission, right? Sorry about that. I had to restart the video. Maybe take that as a message too. Very interesting. So not only are you a light worker who has a deeper understanding and intuitive messages and like maybe are very psychic and bring that through to go against the grain, but you also just exuberantly like have this energy. It's not really fire energy, it's more water energy. So the way you do it, it's very smooth, it's very in flow, it's very whatever's on the current. You're very tapped into that and you can bring that in every moment. But uniquely. I have some Beyond Lemuria cards I'm going to pull now. Let's see what more information we can get. We have Realm Bridger. Yeah. So you're bridging. That's not a word, friends. Bridging the higher realms with these ones through this, you know, fluid. You have a fluidity about you. Freedom. Very free-flowing fluidity. And loving compassion. Yeah, so that's water energy too. You are able to bring compassion in a way that like is almost not even the expected way. You bring compassion by being a contrarian. That is a really, 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 really fascinating energy. You even bring compassion and healing and love to people through your free spirit, through your gifting, I heard. So maybe you give people gifts that they don't even understand how you knew, how possibly you knew, but it's because you're in flow. It's because you're in flow and you felt that that was right? You bridge realms of information and feeling. So you can sense internally what someone needs and you give them compassionately in a very unique and special way. That's amazing. I'm also feeling some kind of expression here. I am seeing some blues. Of course, expressions, that's like communication. It's air energy, but really it's more, you know exactly what to say at the exact right time because you are completely in flow. Why? Because you're a being of water. It's so fascinating. I am having a really hard time. It's literally like it's the middle of the desert and there is somebody there dancing, doing a rain dance, crying, weeping, you know, being like, I'm thirsty. There is this drought. It feels bleak. There's no, you know, there's no nutrients for the plants. I don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden it starts pouring. And you, this being, comes walking into the storm with the recognition that the storm is necessary for the nutrients, for the plants, for things to thrive. You understand and you respect the intensity of water to allow for the development of things. So that's a different message, you know, take that as you will. This is such unique energy. It's actually such unique energy. I wish I could just do an extended right now and pull more cards, but I want to be fair to the other piles. But I might do another reading for this pile, and if I do, I'm sure you'll see it if you follow me, and you'll know it's for you, and that's how it works here, right? You'll know it's for you, so maybe I'll do that at some point very soon. If you enjoyed this reading, please go check out MycoLyco, and yeah, please stay tuned. And if you feel like any other piles resonate with you, go check those out. This has been so nice spending this time with you. So yeah, thank you, pile 2. I'm going to move on to pile 3 now. Hey there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose this cute little rose quartz owl, so definitely something about bird's eye view, wisdom, pinpoint accuracy in the darkness. Ooh, you have pinpoint accuracy in the darkness. And then T.N.T. by AC/DC, which is about this guy who just knows he's got it, right? Interesting energy. All right. Let's see. It's reminding me of Aries and it's reminding me of Scorpio energy. Maybe you're an Aries or a Scorpio. Take that as you will. Okay, so when I was shuffling, I basically asked my guides and spirit, what path is opening up for this person based on a, you know, renewed sense of direction, right? Maybe you've had this renewal of motivation or energy or a sense of direction. You don't know all the details yet, but you feel a little more confident in the direction you're headed. We're going to see what path is opening up for you thanks to that shift in perspective, perhaps. Okay, start with the tarot. We have the 6 of Wands. We have the Seven of Pentacles, Death in reverse, and the Hermit. So I heard ending seclusion, transforming out of isolation. Okay. The Six of Wands in this deck has a butterfly. I heard transforming your limited vision. I think that's actually, that is a card in a deck that I don't think I own, but I've heard in a reading. Transform your limited vision. I feel like that is something. If you have that deck or you've seen that, there's maybe a reading you've watched, even from somebody else recently, that said that. Transform your limited vision. Transform your limited vision. Notice he has a lamp here. I think maybe we need to add a little oil, increase the light here. Okay. Seven of Pentacles here. This is somebody who has received a good fair amount of Pentacles, right? They're comfy. They're comfy-ish, right? This is a period where we are kind of taking stock. We're taking stock, we're taking ownership, we're looking at kind of how far we've come and what we've been doing. We're about to enter into a phase where we can actually put in some more of the work and show up a little more. I'm feeling like we are learning to show up a little more. Like we're ending out a phase of our life where we've been really isolated. And we finally come to terms with the fact that that isolation is not going to serve us, and we need to really transform out of it. So I think maybe this owl here, right? It's been very dark, but you're finally picking up on something else. You're picking up on a light trying to break through those shadows, and it's urging you. It's urging you to take stock of where we've been and to become a more present, I'm feeling more present sense of yourself. So we have Virgo energy here, and we do have Scorpio energy here. With Death in reverse, it really does feel like you're going through this internal transformation that is ending something for you. So something is actively internally ending. And I think what that is here, right by this hermit, like this turtle is about to come out of the shell. You know what I mean? Like it's time that the hermit comes home. You've been isolated. You've been in that energy. You've learned your lessons. You've taken stock. You've looked into it. You've seen where you've come from. You're blah, 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 blah. Right. Right. But now we are coming out of that. Now we're coming out of that, transforming out of that. Transforming our limited vision. It won't stop coming up. Okay? So, we have some Angelarium cards. We have Sahaquiel, Angel of Sky. Zadkiel, Angel of Mercy. Zadkiel also not in this deck, but Zadkiel is tied to like purple. You might see a lot of purple things lately, or you might have some unique visions maybe, or psychic messages coming through. Chesed, right hand, empathy. So we have mercy and empathy. Fascinating. Then Hasmed, Angel of Annihilation. So with death here internally and Hasmed, Angel of Annihilation, I do feel this sense of kind of, I heard molding the internal. We're cutting out a lot of this stuff, or maybe bad habits. I'm also feeling bad habits. We're cutting out a lot of the bad habits that have not been serving us in any way, shape, or form, that have not been leading to us reaching the vision that we had, right? And it's because it's been too dark, okay? So part of this is allowing yourself to realize it's actually been dark. Have empathy for yourself. Have mercy for yourself. Realize that the sky, we're getting a little metaphorical here, the sky has been dark because it's been night for a really long time. You've been walking through the night for a really long time, and the sun's finally rising. So give yourself some grace. You know what I mean? Give yourself some grace during this process. It's not an easy process, right? And if it's bringing with it negative thoughts, depression, like that is normal and that's a part of the journey, but you're starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel, and it's time to actually be seen for what you've actually done. And what you've actually done is gone through a tremendous process of transformation. You've gone through quite the dark night. Like, you have just gone through such a dark night of the soul, and it's finally ending. You're finally getting to that point where you've transformed so much that it is about time to be seen as the authentic version you have become, because you have removed and given grace to the parts of you that were not healthy. You've shown them the light. They've healed, right? You've been healing. You've annihilated all of the parts of you that are not even anywhere near your future self, anywhere near your goals, right? And you've seen the sun start to rise. You've seen the clouds start to part. You finally see the color blue again. And for me, that means you are starting to communicate again. You're starting to express yourself again. You're starting to come out of isolation, come out of hiding, and realize, hey, the world is a lot bigger. And now I have the resources to be there, to be present. Now I can be present. Now I don't have to isolate and self-soothe constantly. I can actually forgive myself for who I've been, forgive myself for what I've been doing, and come out of hiding. It's time for that, you know? Okay, we have angels and ancestors. Mountains, stand your ground. Medicine guardian, be open to healing information. Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. Interesting. So depression coming through again. If you do, I definitely, I didn't work for me, but I totally understand. If you need medication for your depression, maybe look into that, okay? But if not, it didn't work for me. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe something that you've tried to do to medicate yourself or to cope is actually not solving the problem, and you need to be open to learning something else. Learn a different coping strategy, learn a different skill. I think the door is opening up for you to either find something that works medically or find something that works that is healing for you. And stand your ground, right? So maybe this is a separate story here. Maybe some of you, they've been trying to get you put on something and you are just saying, hey, this does not work for me. I don't want you to up my dose. I don't want you to do this. I want to do it this way, right? So definitely, again, not a medical professional. I'm not giving any medical advice, but that could be a story taking place for one of you or a few of you. But I think being open to healing in a lot of ways, there's a lot of ways that aren't just medically that we can heal from this. And I think you are. I think the path opening up for you is that you are learning new information that is showing you how to heal and move forward, that is showing you that you can come out of hiding and out of isolation. In fact, it's really important for you because you need to exchange energy to create abundance. And any of these goals you have set for yourself, you have to build up this abundance. And how we build up this abundance is by actually receiving resources from other people and actually communicating with other people, sharing visions, sharing information, is really important. So you're trading kind of your energy for forward movement. I think there is a community of people who you are meant to interact with. And I think it's been hard for you to do that since you've been isolated for so long. You're kind of out of touch in a way because of this dark night you've been through. But I think the more you share your story and share your perspective, the more you're going to realize you're not alone. The more you're going to realize that you're not the only one going through this. But I know that especially T.N.T here, I know how capable you are. I know that if somebody else had to go through this, they might not have been able to come out the other side as bright as you, as healed as you, as ready to share and express their truth as you, right? And that's a blessing and a curse. Because, yeah, you had to go through so much. It's your right to stand up for what you feel. You know what I mean? You've been through so much that, notice how I'm just realizing that his hand is on his heart, right? You're exchanging energy to create abundance. This energy is coming from a very real inside place because of this experience, because of this internal transformation that you've gone through. It's been a tremendous transformation. And this energy that you exude now is so important for others to even see, right? Because you've been isolated for so long. Seeing you come out of your shell, it's definitely it's working wonders for your healing, and I think for other people's healing. I think also you are a very solo person, so I think that any conversation you have where you are exchanging energy, anytime you do exchange energy, is such a powerful and transformative experience for somebody because you don't do it as often as other people. Right? So when you feel like sharing or expressing something, it is sometimes rare. It is sometimes maybe for you only really speak up during these kind of situations. Maybe somebody else experiencing this situation, you can give them some wisdom, some insight, because you have a bird's eye view of what they're going through because you've gone through it. Maybe you speak up during these periods of transformation, and that's the only time people go to you, or that's the only time that you actually feel like you can share this wisdom. So people listen. People take it in. People say, yeah, this person is strong. This person gets it. This person has been through this. So this energy exchange is so transformative. I think that's really important for you to know, because you might feel like you've undergone the craziest, most intense transformational process of your life, and you felt isolated and lonely. But I want you to know that you doing this, you coming out the other side, is going to be so, so important for the people who you interact with on a daily basis, weekly, monthly basis. For the people who see you in passing and you tell them something that really, really, really transforms their limited vision and opens their mind and opens their heart and makes them undergo this deep transformational process. Because you are powerful, you are bold, you are strong, dude. I said bull, I meant bold. I don't know. Maybe there's some Taurus energy in there. Wow. Yeah. You get to stand your ground now. Yeah, for sure. Because of all this tremendous healing. And it's not just you being open to your healing information, but I think you also may have become the medicine guardian for other people. You have been the elixir for other people now, because you have literally gone through this crazy alchemical process to create the elixir. You've gone through this insane experience that has led you to create this philosopher's stone that turns everything to gold. And so when you share with people your wisdom and insight, it shows them like, hey, maybe I should start working on my philosopher's stone. Maybe I should start seeing everything I touch turn to gold. And the only way to do that is through this transformational process, right? And actually here you kind of see, like, imagine this as lead turning to gold, right? It's this process, this alchemical process you've gone through. And, you know, maybe you're a chemist or something. I don't know. Anyway, take that as you will. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so wild, wonderful, beautiful reading. Very different, actually, from pile 1 and 2. So the path opening up for you is your ability to become a healer because of your experience, which is marvelous. Marvelous. You shine your light, and your light is the kind of light that moves shadows. That's what I want to say. Your kind of light is the light that exists in the darkness to guide other people to their healing. And is there any better gift than being able to do that for somebody? You are walking abundance because you created the thing that turns everything you touch to gold. You are walking abundance because of this transformation you have been through. I am so stinking proud of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again soon.